and welcome to the daily English news program on Azerbaijan television with the most important events of the day. I'm your host, Rəsmi. President İlham Aliyev signed an executive order on the additional measures in respect to the construction of Dəli Məmmədli, Düzqışlaq, Baxtakürt, Dəyirmanlar, Azat, Nizami Highway of Gəranboy region. According to the executive order, 3.6 million manats are allocated from the state budget to Azerbaijan Avtomobil Yolları State Agency to complete the construction of highway connecting 6 residential settlements with 14,000 inhabitants. February 28th marks the 30th anniversary of Azerbaijan-US diplomatic relations. Bilateral and multilateral cooperation between our countries in the last 30 years in energy, security and other fields continues successfully and meets the national interests of both countries.
Establishing relations with the United States after Azerbaijan gained independence has been one of the priorities of our country's foreign policy. After returning to office for the second time, nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev used his personal efforts to take important steps to deepen relations. The contract of the century, signed in 1994 with the participation of U.S. companies, was a historic step. Later, the participation of U.S.-backed companies in a number of energy projects further strengthened the partnership to the level of strategic partnership. After the well-known terrorist attacks in the United States in 2001, Azerbaijan joined the US-led anti-terrorism coalition in the fight against terrorism and international crime. The high-level meetings held by President İlham Aliyev during his visit to the United States marked a new stage in the deepening of relations between our countries. The commissioning of the Southern Gas Corridor project in December of 2020, which plays an important role in ensuring Europe's energy security, is a new contribution to cooperation not only economically but also politically. Before the pandemic, the trade turnover between our countries amounted to about $850 million. At present, more than 300 US companies are registered and operate in Azerbaijan, and US direct investment in Azerbaijan is about $14 billion. At the same time, the State Oil Fund of Azerbaijan has invested billions in the US real estate and securities market. After the war, a new reality has emerged in the region. Having made a great contribution to peace and stability in the region, Azerbaijan intends to expand cooperation with regional and other countries in this plane as well.
The world is changing and there are many new emerging challenges to the security and the independence of all countries, including the United States, including Azerbaijan. But I know that with Azerbaijan as our partner, standing together, we can face any challenge we have and emerge stronger and more independent. We're going to build the next 30 years of the relationship and take the relationship to even higher levels.
Today, Azerbaijan is a reliable partner of the United States on multilateral platforms. Especially in recent years, our country has its own say in international organizations. The support of the rightful position of Azerbaijan once again confirms this.
The Azerbaijani state organized 2 charter flights for the evacuation of Azerbaijani citizens who left Ukraine for neighboring states due to the situation in this country. According to the Foreign Affairs Ministry, 168 Azerbaijani citizens were delivered by first charter flight from Romania through the Turkish company Talivant. The next charter flight of the Azerbaijani Airlines will deliver 174 of our citizens to Azerbaijan. The bloody events in Sumgait in late February 1988 were a deliberate and planned provocation against Azerbaijan. Spokesperson for the Azerbaijani Foreign Ministry, Leyla Abdullayeva, said while commenting on the statement of the Armenian Foreign Ministry related to Sumgait events. Armenia, which held 20% of Azerbaijan's territories under occupation for almost 30 years, committed numerous war crimes against humanity, including the Khojaly genocide, as part of its aggressive policy. However, none of the perpetrators had been brought to justice yet. Instead of taking advantage of new opportunities for cooperation and peace building that are currently appearing in the region after the factor of occupation has been eliminated, false, unfounded and hostile statements demonstrate Armenia's true intentions. As long as the Armenian government will demonstrate an uncompromising position based on lies, unfortunately, until then the Armenian people will be deprived of peace and prosperity, the spokesperson said. US congressmen issued a statement on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the Khojaly genocide. Congressmen Paul Gosar and Steve Cohen point out that it is impossible to change what happened, but it is possible to remember the victims and remind the world that attacks on civilians will never be acceptable. It is emphasized that long-term peace, security and regional cooperation are in the interest of the entire South Caucasus region, as well as the whole world. The statement also speaks about the importance of Azerbaijan for the United States. Our country is called a strong partner of the United States and its allies. Congressmen also paid attention to this peaceful coexistence with the Jewish community in Azerbaijan and Azerbaijan's friendly relations with Israel. A series of articles dedicated to the Khojaly genocide was published in mass media of Kuwait. The publications feature extensive information on the victims of the tragedy, stress the necessity of holding accountable those who were guilty of the crimes against humanity. It is noted that a resident of Khojaly, Durdana Agayeva, who suffered physical injuries and psychological trauma during the massacre, was captured and tortured by the Armenian armed forces at the age of 20. The article emphasizes that the genocide was recognized by the Islamic Cooperation Organization and a number of countries. 369 infections with the novel coronavirus were registered in Azerbaijan. 1,090 people recovered after treatment in their earliest home. 17 people who earlier tested positive for COVID-19 died. The overall cases in Azerbaijan have reached 768,970, with 766,373 recoveries and 9,417 deaths. The number of active infections is 10,880. To detect new infection cases over the past day, 3,860 tests and overall 6,554,964 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan. The task force under the Cabinet of Ministers reported. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.